Hey folks, welcome back to another Pokemon video, and today let's talk a bit about the upcoming Tapu Fini over here, and Mina, which will be dropping tonight, and as usual we'll be pulling for live when that happens. Make sure all are subscribed and notifications on for that. Hopefully luck continues. It's been very nice on the How one at least. So anyways, alright, let's go over this unit then. Let's see. So Tapu Fini and Mina, it's a 5-star. Surprise. I know. 5-star support, right? And it's Rain Dance and Fairy Zone, right? Because that's kind of the theme with these units, right? So far, so yeah, there's that. And in terms of what she does in general, she's just a very nice like defensive support, right? Defensive support that again, Fairy Zone and Rain, right? Where her training move over here, right, makes it so that you get crit shield and then buff special attack for your team, right? You get gradual healing for your team as well, and extra +2 if it's rainy too. So yeah, there's that. Although I don't really like this trainer move. Not that like the buffs and all that stuff are bad. They're not. It's just that you're lumping something you want to use at the very beginning of the game with something you want to use probably in the middle of the game, which is, special attack buffs versus like crit shield. Because usually you don't really need crit shield at the very beginning of the game. Usually it's like at a half bar or even, later on in the case of gauntlets and for legendary arena, it's usually after the opponent sinks, right? So you don't really want to use it turn 1 for the crit shield, but then on the other hand, you want to use it turn 1 for the special attack buffs, or turn 2 if you want that extra +2 with the Rain Dance out there, which I mean might as well because you have Drain and Kiss, right? So the more personal damage Tapu Fini does, you'll get more heals there too. Not that you should be expecting a lot. It's like 180 attack, which is really atrocious, but anyways, but yeah, outside of that, you have your B move, same activation conditions, all the other ones, right? As long as there's weather, terrain, or zone effects on the field, right? This one does only have 1 MP, but it gives damage guard next to your entire team, which is really nice. Heals them up as well, right? 20% to 30% depending if you have Fairy Zone up, and then you could return lowered stats on your team when it's rain. So that's all really nice, right? And then again, just Fairy Zone on entry and extension. Then you have damage reduction for special moves and Fairy Zone for your team. And then you have the Pony Ocean Breeze, which buffs your team's defense, special defense by 1 when an ally activates a weather, terrain, or zone effect. So yeah, again, it's mostly a defensive sort of support, right? That does buff special attack. So that's the gist of this unit in terms of how many copies you want. 1 copy is fine, I guess, right? If you're really just going for those, just nice little tank, right, that could set you 2 rains and then 1 Fairy Zone, right? It's an extended Fairy Zone, so it's like 1.5 Fairy Zones, right? And yeah, in terms of the grid, 1 out of 5 you don't really get too much. You get like Stalwart, which is nice, but that's kind of about it, I guess. At 2 out of 5 you get some things. Quick Cure is always nice, right? Rain Gear is alright. And then you have Flabbergast over here, which could be useful in certain cases, right? Racing Rain 2 is always nice to have too. Same thing with Whimsical Acceleration, obviously they're the same thing. Dragon Guard in certain scenarios. The full Embracing Command is not that good because it's only you only get to use it once anyways, and then NPR2 on a 1 MP move. Honestly, the 2 out of 5, it's not that there's nothing here, but it's definitely not something you should chase after, right? But 3 out of 5, you have, Refreshing Rain, extra heals, Barricade Buddies, and then 1 crit buff on Team Sharp entry. After that, you have Fairy Kingdom, which is the big one, right? Which gives Fairy Zone after every sync. And then Team Whimsical Immunity, so you can't get status in Fairy Zone, and then Team Smart Start, which gives special move up next when it enters the battle. Honestly, you're like the big thing in 3 out of 5 is the Fairy Zone on sync thing. And again, there's some nice things here and there. Oh, there's also HP plus 40, but I would say that like this is not like a 3 out of 5 that's really killer. Again, it's like it's solid, right? I mean, most units 3 out of 5s are you know, you generally want them, but I'd say like in comparison to like the vast majority of units out there, this 3 out of 5 is it's all right. It's all right. Again, you have good things here. You have good things here, but like even like the Fairy Kingdom, right? Like sure, if you sync for your support EX first time, but like afterwards, you probably, you know, I want to sync with someone else, right? Again, it's still infinite Fairy Zone, so it's not like, oh, there's no point sync with her after the first support. No. You could still sync for infinite Fairy Zone. That's always, you know, that's always good. But again, you could also make the argument the opposite, right? But I'd probably still go with it. But again, I could see someone making the argument, you know, same thing, kind of like Aura Cynthia-ish, right? But yeah, Team Smarts are like, it's like +1 when you enter the battle, and it costs like 10 energy, and it's not even like cheap to get to because it's surrounded by like 7 energy stuff. So yeah, I'm just saying like her 3 out of 5 is just, it's just all right. And 4 out of 5 you actually do have some. Well, no. Oh, it's not 4 out of 5. It's 5 out of 5. Never mind. Okay, 4 out of 5 is also just okay. Kylo to kick is good, just because she's not like a crazy fast unit. You know, speed's pretty low, right? Don't have too much gauge stuff other than just Racing Rain and Whimsical Acceleration. So having this could potentially be nice if you are running a relatively gauge heavy sort of team, right? Because she is not that great on gauges. And then you have Adrenaline, which is nice for, you know, nice for mass mode, right? Wait, was it Adrenaline or was it Sync Wall? Oh no, Adrenaline. Oh yeah, there's also Sync Wall. It's first time only with the crit defense, which is better than using it turn 1. But also probably not going to be incredibly useful either in most case scenarios, unfortunately. And then, yeah, 5 out of 5, you have Synchro Healing and Master Healer and Draining Kiss. Her 5 out of 5 is pretty good. Her 5 out of 5 is pretty good, not gonna lie. Well, it's pretty good for Gauntlet. It's kind of like whatever for Master Mode. So, I guess, yeah, that's just kind of what the unit boils down to. It is mostly a Gauntlet unit. Obviously, you could run her Master Mode, but it's mostly a Gauntlet unit, right? But nonetheless, let's get into some, you know, Syncgrids, lucky skills all top. Lucky skill wise, you can just go with the usual support stuff, right? Vigilance, low key speedy entry might not be that bad, right? Speedy entry 2 or fast track, just because again she is pretty not that great on gauges, so that would be nice, I'd say, honestly. But otherwise, again, just your usual support stuff would apply. But I'd recommend a fast track or a speed entry, depending again if you're longer or shorter stages. So yeah, I mean, as for the 1 out of 5 grid, this might be one of the rare units where just pick up everything, because she could legitimately use everything on her 1 out of 5 grid. I guess maybe Flameproof and Stalwart are like situational, but I mean, Stalwart's not even like, you know, special defense debuffs are pretty common. Okay, I guess like Flameproof's the one that's not super common, but other than that, like, it's a tank, so you want HP, you want defense, you want special defense. It only has special attack nodes, and, you know, Draining Kiss, doing more damage, right, along with the extra special attack buffs, means you heal more, so that's always nice, and then speed's always good, so just, yeah, pick up everything. I'm pretty sure you could pick up everything, right, with the orbs given. Or orbs given, but the energy, yeah. Alright, so that's that one's easy, I guess. Not easy if you're trying to save orbs, though, I guess. Alright, moving on. 2 out of 5. Probably go for Racing Rain here. Quick Cure, Whimsical Acceleration, and Rain Gear, I feel like are the big ones. anything else is really just depends. Do you really need Flabbergast? No, but is it nice in general just to have the opponent confused just in case they hit themselves in confusion? Yeah, I guess, right? So yeah, you could go for Flabbergast for if you have nothing else you really want to pick up, but if you do have anything, you know, you do want to pick up that's like specific versus some stage, right? For example, if you're fighting a stage that burns or whatever, right? Go Flame-proof, fight a stage that debuff special defense, stalwart, obviously. I don't really know about this one. I mean, fine, I guess, if it's like a really short stage, and you don't have that many units on your team to set weather zone terrain. Okay, you get one extra over here. If you just want to sit there and pray, you get that NPR2 on a 1 MP base move, then if you could get it, it's good. You get another critical shield afterwards, right? After the first one expires. And also gradual healing, right, after that expires too. But again, the chance of that happening not very high. You're fighting a dragon stage, well, pick up a dragon guard, right? It's pretty simple stuff here, folks. I'd just say, again, like these are like the main ones. Even I guess quick cure also depends, but again, just getting like interference is just really common overall, right? And you know, no one likes getting flinched off of like a rock slide or something. All right, 3rd of 5. 3rd of 5. Unlike Tapu Koko, I don't think this is a must pick up. It is a very nice pickup if you, well, need Fairy Zone, obviously. But, you know, in cases where you don't exactly need Fairy Zone, because, you know, you don't have to run her with Fairy units. You don't have to run her with Fairy units. You don't have to run her with water type units, right? You could just run her as just like a tank, and, you know, versus specific gauntlet opponents, like, I don't know, like Azelf, like Yuxi. Well, I guess she's not like the best for Yuxi, but still, right? What else? I don't know. A lot of them. Moltres, I guess, right? Etc. So yeah. What's the other guy's name? Terrakion. If he ever gets in a gauntlet, like, yeah. You don't have to run her with Fairy or water type units, but if you are, and if it's not a very fast battle, right, and you want more of those Fairy Zones, then definitely pick up Fairy Kingdom, right? So if you do want to go that route, probably pick up Whimsical Acceleration, because again, its speed's not that great, so might as well pick that up. Other than that, do you need that extra +1 crit? If you need that, go for it. You know, if your team needs it. Whimsical Immunity would be nice, right? In the stage where you need it, right? Again, like something like versus Moltres, right? If you, for some reason, just didn't get a, you know, I mean, it's not even like, cause she only has 2 Rain Dance. She doesn't have any NPR on Rain Dance, so like you're gonna run out. So you might as well, right, have that just to make sure your team doesn't get like AoE burned by like a heat wave, right? But obviously, if you don't need that, then get the extra special defense. You know, +20 special defense is a lot of special defense, right? So yeah, there's that. And as for anything else you really want to go for, I'd say in general, quick cure. I don't know. Rain gear and quick cure, maybe something like this. If you really need the sync wall, sure, but you would have to drop. Wow, never mind. I can't even afford that. Well, you'd have to drop something. If maybe Whimsical Acceleration, which would kind of suck, in my opinion. But if you really need the sync wall, then sure, I guess, right? You know, make up for it, picking up some speed nodes here and there instead. Well, I guess there's only really one in range. Oh well. But yeah, that's probably what some of the options I'd go if you want to go with the Fairy Kingdom. Cool passive name, by the way, Fairy Kingdom. Look at that. But yeah, if you don't need it, then, you know, if you're fighting just it's not like you could still not pick up Fairy Kingdom even if you are running a fairy team. If it's just, again, like something like Master Mode that's really fast, right? Which in that case, you're just have more options, right? To go with other things. Again, a lot of defensive stuff really depends what stage you're fighting, etc. Teams, all that stuff. if you need the extra healing, the refreshing rain is nice, right? What else? Again, like, it's super fast master mode stage. Team Smart start won't be that bad. Just make sure whatever team you're running, everyone's just being like, you know, you don't have to spend turns like setting up using some, like, you know, weaker move like a mud slap or whatever, right? So yeah, just make sure your team doesn't have any of those sort of units, or else it's just kind of wasted. But yeah, otherwise you could go nuts, man. You could go honestly and like anything. As for 4 out of 5, catalytic kick would be nice. If I'm pretty sure you could afford it, right, with Fairy Kingdom. Yeah, you could afford it with Fairy Kingdom. You could afford it with Team Sharp entry as well, right? So that you can't get, you know, some of the extra stuff. So there is that. Adrenaline is also nice if you are, again, fighting Master Mode, right? So you can pick that up. After that, well, like, you could still afford Team Sharp entry or Catalytic Kick if you need either of those. But other than that, like, Sync Wall, maybe. I just really don't see a scenario where it'd be really that useful. Unless you're, like, syncing with her second. Like, for example, you have 2 EX supports on the team, and then you're syncing like 1 EX support first, and then you sync with her. And then it's one of those stages that has, like, crit buffs out their opponent syncs. Then, okay, you know, that's nice. Or, again, just, like, save this. Which is slightly sad, but yeah, otherwise maybe refreshing rain plus the racing rain, though you would have to give up one of these. Oh man, can't even one of these, man. All right, never mind. Yeah, you're just make sure you take out the opponents fast enough if you're picking up stuff like adrenaline anyways. Okay, so yeah, which, I mean, in that case, I guess maybe you won't need Fairy Kingdom, then you could just go with that. But all right, 5 of 5. Oh man, Synchro Healing's good. Fairy Kingdom, like 5 of 5, again, it's mostly if you're just going for Gauntlet, so I'm assuming you would want stuff like Fairy Kingdom, right? You want stuff like Synchro Healing, and other than that, it depends, as usual, right? You could afford something like this, right? You could afford something like this. Actually, can you afford Quick Cure in there too? The answer is yes. Yeah, you could go Quick Cure. You also get Sync Wall. Or if you want to try your luck on the NPR, which, yeah, on breath. Hey, if you do get that NPR, man, you basically get a Sync Wall. Except you get to use it whenever you want, which is better than the Sync Wall. But no, it's tough gambling for that. But yeah, something like this maybe, right? A lot of really useful situations where you could use that in. So, all right, let's go over some of the pros and cons of this unit. Pros: Infinite Fairy Zone and Extension. All right, obviously you got Rain there too. You have the heals, right? Whether it's healing your team with Synchro Healing at 5 of 5, or self-healing with Training Kiss, right? And I believe there's also gradual heals for your team as well on your trainer move, right? And then after that, you got the defense buffs. They're a bit slow, but, you know, you could theoretically max them out if you use enough Terrain Zone Weathers, right? And then you got max special attack buffs as well. Team Crit Shield, Stat Reset, Team Protect. So, you know, a lot of great just defensive stuff from this unit. As for some cons, no NPR in Rain, right? It is really slow as a unit. The trainer move is awkward, right? Like, it just, I hate trainer moves like this, man. It's very annoying. Slow build up as well, right? I mean, the trainer move's like not the worst, but like, it just really it can be good in some situations, but I'd say just majority of situations, probably not that much. The slow build up, like, basically outside of like the special attack buffs for your team, outside of that, everything else is kind of slow of a build up, right? The defense buffs are pretty slow of a build up. And well, I guess that's the main one. And there's only like +1 crit, so there's also that as well. So yeah, not a perfect support. Right, again, a lot of upsides, but I'm not gonna lie, there's a few downsides here, here and there. So just keep that in mind, I guess. Overall, I'd say it's a really good support if you're big into Gauntlet. If you're not, it's still not like bad. It's still like it's still a good support, but in my opinion, you could probably spend those gems on some other support that might just be better in whatever else, you know, like mass mode or whatever, right? So, or maybe the new whatever mode's coming up. But yeah, like Gauntlet wise, like fantastic unit for Gauntlet. But again, if you don't play Gauntlet, then maybe spend your gems on a different sport, right? Again, she's still good, but there's a lot of good supports nowadays, right? There's a lot of good supports nowadays, and like even the Tapu Bulu coming out, like they're different. Obviously, they're different, right? One's Grassy Terrain, Sign Day, and then one's Fairy Zone / Rain. If you don't, you know, you really want like more Rain and Fairy Zone setters, then I definitely go for the Tapu Bulu, because that Tapu Bulu is really good, man. Like that Tapu Bulu is great in both, you know, situations. Whereas you know, I'd say Fini excels in one and is just regular good in the other. Like again, something similar. If if you want to like a Rain / Zone setter support, right? Champion Calum, I'd say, right, probably a better place to spend your gems, especially now that mass fairs are rerunning relatively more frequently now, right? So again, she's good. I'd highly recommend it. Highly recommend it if you're trying to go for, you know, big gauntlet streaks, because she's gonna make your life so much easier in a lot of those. But otherwise, not really, right? So weighing both of those, I'd say maybe probably a 8.3 out of 10 sort of pull score over here, right? Maybe higher if you're heavy into gauntlet streaks, and I'd say lower if you're not, right? So sort of take that and, you know, just evaluate it yourself in terms of what your needs are. Obviously, I'm just giving suggestions. You know, everyone has different situations, so pull responsibly. But you know, if you are pulling though, good luck to you. Hopefully, get some good pulls on that one. Hopefully, better than my hollow pulls. Or just as good if you think those were nice enough, which I thought they were nice enough personally. But yeah, anyways, yeah, have fun, folks. Again, good luck, guys are pulling later tonight. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys later today. When reset happens, we'll pull for live. And sorry, I can't do the Alolan Villain arc story yet. I'm very busy. I will be free on Monday, so I'll get out on Monday. All right, but all right, have fun, folks. I'll see you guys next one.